a hint of wicked humor. If Zhu Yi is willing to obey the order, what expression will the fifth demon have then? I'm really looking forward to it. Not just the day before yesterday. Many strong individuals harbor this malicious thought. After Zhu Yi died, I really want to see the fifth demon lord go insane. At this moment, the stone tablet shimmered with changes. Several names disappeared from above. The strong do not take it to heart. Every time the heavenly book opens, it's normal for half of the people to die. 10 years ago, only 15% were able to emerge from the heavenly book. Their focus is all on the heavenly ranking. Any one of these names disappearing, all are enough to cause a stir in Jeju. Fifth Jinshuang's face was covered with a layer of cold frost. Beyond the 9 provinces, this place is too strange. The sky unexpectedly has 10 suns hanging high, but it doesn't feel hot at all. Faintly, the silhouettes of various fierce beasts could be seen beside the sun. The tail and reign of Yu, the 9 sounds that cry out, and the wind that swirls and dances at the tail. The team echoed with 10 far, 10 near, the eerie and desolate ghost of the newborn, tearing apart all the grass and trees nearby. The aura is so dense it's infuriating. The night conversation has solidified. Rumbling, tens of thousands of young dancers have landed. The venue suddenly erupted in noise and commotion. Looking at the light dot above my companion's head, a face full of confusion. How many points of light there are? More than dozens of grains. Only a few grains remain. When the crown prince of Chu appeared with a grand entourage, the light spot on top of its head was unusually striking. There are more than 200 grains. Everyone probably figured out those at the top of the heavenly rankings have the most light. People like them, much more talented. The talent is so poor that there's only a grain. Could it be that there are slightly more light spots? In an instant, everyone immediately became alert. And, bad. The sound of breaking through fills the ears. In an environment so rich in spiritual energy, the dancer at a bottleneck in their cultivation breaks through directly. Lie, dog lie. I want to poop on your head. Wan Chu, you relied on your family background to forcefully take my fiancée. This grudge cannot be shared under the same sky. You once humiliated me, didn't you? Come to battle. In a ruthless world without constraints, the evil of human nature surged forth. The young dancer finds her enemy, fighting fiercely with red eyes. Spirits intertwine and sweep through. The sound waves shook the heavens. A great melee begins. A swarm of restless ants. Xuanyu in Changqing has over 1,000 sparkling dots on his head. A strong gaze looks far into the distance. Meanwhile, the heavenly rankings and the heavenly prodigies seem to understand each other intuitively. Kiki looked towards the faintly visible golden staircase in the distance. The golden staircase rises straight into the clouds. At the bottom lay a massive creature resembling a giant python. The giant object measured several dozens of zhang. There are mottled giant horns on each side of the head. Beneath half-closed eyelids, a giant tree with red leaves. Gazing at tens of thousands of dancers, the talented ones suddenly understood. It seems that stepping onto the stairs, only then can one truly enter the heavenly book, not knowing what is to come. At this moment, Zhu Yi Liao, your time of death is approaching. The sound of the Jiayi Wenqi roared in. Kang Jiren Kang Ziantu wears a bright crown, angrily pointing at the blinding white robes in the crowd. Moment, dozens of breaths swept through. The members of the Shizumeng marched towards the white robe. Zio Fan wore a dark blue robe. A wonderful curve appeared at the corner of her mouth. Zio Yinging stared at Zhu Yi with a smile. just came out as promised. Entering the heavenly book, let's join forces to eliminate this chat. When the heavenly ranking is unveiled, two dominating powerhouses emerged. They subtly shook their thoughts. You can see the 900 points of light above this chat's head. In the midst of a chaotic battle, the victor can plunder the light spots. Thus, Zhu Meng did not hesitate at all. You can kill this conversation, can snatch away the light points again. Why not enjoy it? A strange silence fell over the scene. This scene shocked everyone. No one expected it. Just entered the book of heaven. There are only 3 champions on the heavenly rankings, and 10 top talents join forces to take down young Master Zhu. Interesting. Junlin stopped his steps towards the staircase, fist over heart, enthusiastically playing the role of an observer. The remaining talents on the celestial rankings watched with cold eyes. Zhubei Wang ranked 4th in terms of threat. Thus, with fate, there are drawbacks for them as well. If you can't even handle these useless things, you are not worthy to be my follower. The 6 divine swords behind Xuanyu and Chengqing clashed in resonance. High and mighty, overlooking the encirclement in the arena, a figure in a white robe stood expressionless, calmly looking around the venue. Who else is there? Let's go together. As the voice fell silent, a profound silence, a casual tone, radiating an air of invincibility. From this handsome face, cannot see the slightest hint of fear, only indifference that does not take anything to heart. Cao Qingju lacking in talent and eloquence. Hesitating for a moment, the figure remained still. Jai Minju bit her lower lip, caught in a dilemma. She recalled her hazy desires. Suddenly, a ridiculous thought emerged. These 13 people, not even a match for this Lio. No participation from the top 3 of the heavenly rankings. It's difficult to completely eliminate this Lio. Yi Tian was excited and couldn't wait. But soon a bucket of cold water was poured down. Old Yan in the jade pendant sternly stopped her. Who else wants to kill me? The white-robed figure's expression was calm and unperturbed. The voice gradually became eerie and cold, scanning the crowd with a near provocative gaze. HMPH, although the methods are not honorable, but as long as I can kill you, that's all that matters. The humiliation from back then is etched deep in my bones. Now it's time to repay 100-fold. The young dancers are like cold cicadas. Even the breath can vanish in an instant. 14 heroes besiege young Master Zhu. This powerful lineup left them in shock. Yingying was feeling a bit suffocated. Could it be that young Master Zhu, shining brightly like the sun, is anxious? Still not officially stepping into the heavenly book, just to lose one's life. Then his past glory will become a joke. It also implicated the 5th demon lord, who was mocked by the world. After all, Master Zhu is the center of attention. Everyone is looking forward to seeing him reach that step in the heavenly book. Died without entering the heavenly book. That will completely shock the 9 provinces. But facing an attack from 14 heroes, is there any possibility for him to survive? The young dancers stayed far away, afraid of harming innocent bystanders. 14 bursts of furious energy. They all drew their weapons, forming a terrifying encirclement. Is there more? It's definitely people like you all. A warm and lazy voice fell. The white robe lightly sweats in the hand. Very good. In an instant, the blood mist rapidly spread in all directions, forming a world of blood and sea. The mountains and rivers stretch across. The crimson river rushes forward. The crowd felt a chill at the sight. I feel as if the blood in my body is all boiling. Rumbling sound. The person in the white robe, like an ancient blood demon warrior, exuding endless magical power and ferocity. A large area of distortion appeared in the void behind. Chapter 100. The powerful formations raged on endlessly. The death game has begun. 10 suns hang high in the sky, resembling a giant python. Like a true dragon, a colossal creature looms on the steppes. The red giant tree coldly overlooks the scene. This desire leaves the crows and sparrows silent. The atmosphere subtly solidified. 14 bursts of violent, true energy gathered. Various magical treasures are summoned. In an instant, a terrifying vortex of magic spread, like a pearl net manual, booming towards the solitary white robe. Many young dancers, feeling this terrifying aura, I don't dare to get close at all. In fear, they all fled. This kind of might. It's enough to shock several masters to death. How does young Master Zhu counter? Rumbling sound, endless blood mist engulfs. The sky was filled with a crimson glow, like the end of the world has arrived, bringing calamity and disaster. The vast sea of blood behind the white robe, like a real little world, mountains and rivers under the moon, birds and beasts, nurturing billions of lives. Suddenly, a mighty hand appeared in the crimson world. Everything collapses. He seems to span the heavens, surrounded by rain, carrying a scorching and terrifying aura of destruction. Facing the center, descending down. The play ignores the true energy attack. Wherever I go, the magic treasure began to crack. Not good. A woman with her eyes covered by a black cloth, screaming loudly. Jayoke stands still. The remaining 13 people had cold limbs, watching helplessly as the crimson drama unfolds. Bund, Kibu Yubo Jaihan Huitian Mai Dai. Countless people gazed at the scene before them. Heartbroken, the woman let out a muffled groan. The center of the brow splits open. The skull was split in two. A drop of essence blood surged out. The torso quickly shriveled, become a liver corpse. No wonder they are blind to the obvious. It turns out he is blind. Blood-stained white robe perseverance. He smiled lightly with the wind and clouds gentle, handsome and carefree. No flaws can be found at all. The entire scene is spine-chilling. Many people were frightened and couldn't believe it. In the blink of an eye, a prodigy has fallen. The calm demeanor of this man. The remaining 13 people's faces were pale. They are clear. The virtual evil therapy is very powerful. That's why they come together. But after actually engaging in battle, only then did I realize what an irreversible gap is. This moment, the overwhelming majority feel a sense of retreat. So funny. Do you think you can squash me like a soft persimmon? As the plain voice fell, the blood sea has completely shattered. Okay, like an ancient beast, Tao Wu crawled out from the blood mist. He swept through with a phantom-like presence, violently thrusting out a hand. The blood on the white robe was burning wildly. The smell of pottery grew increasingly terrifying. This palm strike could overturn the heavens. Bang! Air shock. Like a towering mountain, the moon falls. The giant palm struck towards the two trembling talents. Suddenly, it exploded with a bang. Blood sprays everywhere. The body transformed into a sky of fine powder. This is the confidence you have in your alliance. Seems to be unable to withstand a blow. The delicate white robe is adorned with blooming red flowers. His voice is quite casual. It's like catching up with an old friend after a long time apart. The crowd was completely stunned. 2 prodigies have fallen again. Simply ridiculously strong. Even the dullest dancer has realized it. Zhu Gonzi kills a man. Take a person's essence. The more the war, the stronger we become. The Tianbang Tianjiao had a heavy expression. Even they felt a wave of panic. Heart pounding. Yes, it is my short-sightedness. Please, young Master Zhu, be magnanimous. Tuobushi's brows trembled. Put away the magical artifact. Tremblingly apologetic. The remaining 11 people had stiff expressions. The heart feels like it is being squeezed by a pair of hands. Fear enveloped my entire body. Be especially cautious of Wu Junji. He really wants to give himself a slap. Blinded by hatred. Simply stupid to the point of being ridiculous. Zio Fan's forehead was lined with bulging veins. Emotions surge within. Also bred regret. Quenwo da duo. The white robe lightly damp with sweat. I will kill you. This is my greatest tolerance. Ush. The blood palm once again crossed the horizon. Almost forged from ancient demonic blood. Zhao Qiuobuchanjiao left in a fury after the killing. Not surprising at all. Amidst the horrified and fearful gazes of the crowd, Tuoba camp was shattered. The body was on the verge of exploding. The spirit of the traveler is extinguished. The crowd felt a chill down their spines. My back is filled with coldness. There is a moment. The soul is almost moved to tears. Only 10 people left. The speed is breathtaking. Far away, Chu Taizu licked his lips. The expression is exceptionally enchanting. A fierce glint shot forth from the eyes, swiftly darting towards the prey. Well, the crowd was stunned. First on the heavenly ranking, ready to make a move and eliminate. Could it be that young Master Zhu's strong presence intimidates even him? He is a being capable of slaying a grandmaster. At the critical moment, when thousands of troops are poised for battle. Junlin wearing a purple gold crown. At the same time, Xuanji in his monk's robe struck. 2 powerful streams of true energy, surging towards Chu Taixu. Hadhaj, a beautiful peach blossom floated by. The 6 Kaoshan swords shimmer with intertwining light. Tianbang's second rank, Kang Heoran. Zhu Yuanchangking, ranked 3rd on the heavenly list. The 2 set their sights on Chu Taixu. This scene, it was hard for tens of thousands of young warriors to believe. Battle of the century. Chu Taizu's cold gaze swept across. Then it let out 2 strange chuckles. Repress the aura on your body. The other 4 then retreated. Their reason for taking action is very simple. The greatest threat within the heavenly book is Chu Taixu. Zhu Beiwing has the ability to restrain the opponent. Then one cannot easily die. A little interlude, not the slightest interruption in the slaughter on the field. The white robe strikes again, like pulling weeds and picking flowers, easily crushing a prodigy of the Nangong family. Blood mist pervades every inch of the void. This place has turned into a terrifying area resembling a hellish forest. Kong Zion stands upright, bitterly cold, his face twisted, roared in anger. Are you going to just sit and wait? Let's chat and give it our all. In the midst of the roaring sound, a vast literary aura surged forth. A seal envelops the world. The remaining 7 people, struggling to suppress the panic of inner despair. When Yan unleashes his secret magical powers, the rumbling sound shook. Blur. Kong Zion laughed heartily at the sky. The figure transformed into a golden red light. Turn and flee towards the heavenly ladder. Zio Fan's movements were swift and precise. In a panic, the sacred body is summoned. A round red sun protects the body. Turn around and retreat from the battlefield. Sudden changes astounded countless warriors. But soon they understood their actions. Running away may be shameful, but it's better than dying in vain. Continue the siege. It's just a desperate struggle before death. It's late. The white robe slowly uttered two words. A Dukin is suspended. His long fingers hovered over the piano keys. The sound of the kin is like pearls falling into a clear spring. The sound of the Dukin echoes. Illusory walls appeared all around. Trap Kong Zion and Zio Fan. The righteous energy of How Ran suddenly spread. A blood-red character appeared in mid-air. A terrifying power strikes down on Kong Zion. Zhu Beiwang, do you dare to stand against the world's poison masters? You can't kill me. Kong Zion is strict with his inner family. The voice trembled greatly. Ah, the pearl character runs through the seal. Fei men ju shi. No mistake goes unbroken. I am willing to serve you as my lord. The pleading voice abruptly stopped. Kong Zion watched helplessly as his head flew away from his body, rolled on the ground a few times. The handsome face in the white robe was calm and unperturbed. The tip glimmers with radiant brilliance. A thrilling sight of writhing danger emerges from the sea of blood behind. He gently caressed the strings of the piano. The sound of the zither trembles like a dive into a rushing stream. Another hand slowly reached out. The terrifying blood-red giant hand swept across the sky again. The crowd's pupils constricted, shocking beyond measure. The finger of the talented young nobleman. A moment's debt lies in the palm of my hand. Suddenly grateful that I didn't participate. He had never seen it before. There are men who can be so noble and elegant, like a deity distanced from the mortal world. Playing alone in solitude brings joy. This kind of elegance is just so. Most is to be cautious of others. Hoop, boop, boop, roaring in frustration. The remaining few had no time to beg for mercy. Under the sweep of the giant palm, the body collapsed. Wu Junji's face was as pale as paper, lips trembling. Fear reached its peak. Bun, ruthless blood, palm crush. The gifted one, praised as the tiger of the breed, didn't even leave a farewell message. The twin eyes fell into a pool of blood. In the distance, the rooster at the cliff kept its eyes tightly shut. Take a deep breath. The motions returned to calm, like the ancient cold winds blowing from the Mobay snowfield, blown through the hearts of tens of thousands. Moment. The atmosphere felt like falling into an iced cellar. The world seemed to fall silent for a moment. The screen abruptly freezes. A scene of devastation. Severed limbs. Extremely tragic. It seems like just a moment over tea. 10 4-day exchanges. Only the roots remain. They originally had infinite possibilities. Stepping into the heavenly book with overwhelming confidence. Hoping to achieve fame and shock the entire region in one go. But now it has turned into a pile of white bones, becoming that man's stepping stone. This power is despairing. The gap is too wide. Simply cannot stand against it, even if ranked fourth on the heavenly list. But his invincible legend cannot be challenged. This is the incredibly formidable young Master Zhu. Kneel down. At that moment, a gentle voice came through. Zhu Beiwang's deputy followed behind, calmly overlooking Zio Zhuixu. Moment. Countless gazes. Kiki looked at this survivor. Perhaps Master Zhu is tired of killing. Only then will you raise your hands and kneel. If one does not kneel and beg for mercy, another corpse will appear on the ground. Zio Fan's body was as stiff as a statue. The determined face first turned red, then it turned green. But now it has turned purple. The muscles on his face twitched incessantly. A heart full of hatred torments. Count to 3. 1. Zhu Beiwang approached slowly. The expression showed no hint of emotion. 2. Slash. In this silent scene, the muffled sound was particularly striking. Zio Fan lowered his head. Crimson eyes. The endless humiliation nearly consumed him. in front of a large audience. He knelt before his enemy, begging for mercy. This kneel leaves dignity in ruins. The face of the great eye sanctuary has been completely bowed down. But he wants to live. Only by living is there hope for revenge. Only by living can one look down upon the 9 provinces. Kneeling and bowing, Zhu Beiwang's gaze was indifferent. The tone is eerie. The crowd did not find the classical language excessive, even taken for granted. Xiaofan's face was peaceful. He stared at the white robe, burning with fierce anger in the depths of my eyes. Today's humiliation, 100-fold return in the future. Thumb, forehead hit the ground. Blood-stained. Very good. Zhu Beiwang's smile held deep meaning. The crowd remained silent, still in shock, unable to regain composure. They looked at the light point above the white robe. There are already over 1,000. Surpassed the divine steeds of the Xuanyuan family. Celestial Temple disciple Jun Ling, with a cold and aloof expression. But there was a deep shade of suspicion in his eyes. He is confident in himself. It can also kill 14 ants. But it's hard to do it so easily. The key is the strength this person reveals. Just the tip of the iceberg. What else is hidden? Xuanyu and Chengqing examined the white robe with great interest. A faint smile lingered at the corners of his mouth. Not bad. I previously underestimated you. The abyss before heaven. The war chariot drums resound, standing tall in the void. A massive beast larked. The powerful figures from various factions stared at the stone tablet. 1, 2. The powerful figure of the Blue Palace clan let out a mournful roar. Incomparable sorrow and despair. I can't believe everything happening before my eyes. The name of the heir has disappeared. It also means losing one's life. No, furious breath. The pain drives one to madness. 1, 2. Assumption. Jai-er. Meanwhile, angry voices rose one after another. They stared at the stone tablet with blood-red eyes. I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill that request. A tranquil scholar feels struck by lightning. The book beneath me subtly cracked open. The power within me never ceases. The descendants of the Kang family thus met their end halfway. This is absolutely impossible. The remaining powerful experts. A look of indifference, as if it had nothing to do with them. Some even took pleasure in others' misfortunes. It hasn't been long since we entered, and yet we've already fallen. You powerful ones, are you here to be funny on purpose? However, they were quite curious. What kind of large-scale skirmishes occurred within the heavenly book? Kan Zian is ranked 32nd on the heavenly list. The other prodigies may not have made the list. But if we make a list of 100 people, they have at least 60% of the power. At that moment, it seems to have observed something extraordinary. The Stronghold Directory was shocked, pointing at the 4th name on the stele. In an instant, everyone's smiles froze. The faces instantly drained of color. Zhu Beiwang. The light spots behind the names surged, directly surpassed Xuanyuan's divine steed and the heavenly rankings. The others remained unchanged. What does this mean? In the minds of many powerful beings. Suddenly, a chilling thought crossed my mind. Could it be that this Liao can do it alone? Kill these proud talents. In a year of Phoenix, Wu Zhao tightly clenched the hand hidden in her sleeve. A storm surged within my heart. He was filled with rage. The gaze turned into 2 sharp swords. A thick haze immediately enveloped the face. The name of the 5 military machines has disappeared. Puh! Unreachable. Deserving of death. He lost control of his emotions. Raging wildly inside. With the demise of the 5 Armis mechanism, the forbidden substitution technique is useless now. Xuanyu lost a life-saving trump card. One profound lesson is not enough. I can't believe they would continue to provoke Zui Liao. Why would I be so foolish? Wu Zhao felt both hatred and regret. I should have reminded him to stay away from Zui. It's useless to say anything now. All the powerful beings present fell into silence. Names almost disappeared at the same time. The other top talents on the heavenly ranking remained unchanged. Actually, we can roughly speculate on what happened with the heavenly book. Zui Liao single-handedly occupies 13 people. All were killed in the quake. The methods were terrifying to the extreme. This moment, their vigilance, instantly climbing to an unimaginable height. I don't know how. They subconsciously looked towards the phoenix standing amidst the clouds. It's exactly the same. Even this lackey is more cold-blooded and heartless. Will the scene from 10 years ago repeat itself? A person makes a unilateral decision about the heavenly book, arbitrarily taking the lives of the gifted. The phoenix soars, enveloped in beauty. The girl from the subgroup resented the names carved on the stone tablet. She raised her chin with restraint. This waste. Not bet. The powerful beings present struggled to calm their emotions, staring intently at the changes on the stone tablet. The shocking news of the fall of 13 heroes will surely cause a huge sensation. The waves created are unimaginable. The golden staircase stretches endlessly, looking up at the starry sky. Starlight pours down upon it. Endlessly vast and profound. The massive creature, resembling a thunder dragon, swept through the crowd. Open your bloodthirsty mouth, said without any expression. Through the test, randomly teleported to the first layer of the book of heaven. Loser, death. His voice was as sharp and unpleasant as a saw cutting wood, carrying the weight of endless years. Tens of thousands of people looked at each other. There was confusion in the gaze, and deep fear. The massive creature let out a breath. The golden ladder suddenly disappeared, as if a rift in space had been torn open. In the blink of an eye, everyone, in the midst of a gloomy gray world, they were stunned by the scene before them. The sky is filled with countless golden walkways. Below is an endless abyss, emitting a foul, rotten stench. Jiao text intertwines. Approximately several dozen jang long. The bridge surface is made up of neatly arranged square patterns. In an atmosphere as stiff as iron, a colossal sound echoed through the void. Reached the end. Passed the test. The first 10 arrivals will receive treasures. A gray mist envelops. Tens of thousands suddenly became alert. An identical message appeared in my mind. The road of life and death is composed of 81 squares. 40 of the squares are illusory. Stepping on the arm, it fell into the abyss. The body is directly corroded. In an instant, panic quickly spread. Isn't it said that the survival rate is only half? It all depends on luck. This is not. A young man with a hooked nose shouted in anger. The 2 words reasonable have not been finished yet. The whole person just exploded. Flesh and blood tossed into the abyss. The crowd was as silent as cicadas in winter, no longer daring to voice doubts. Some dancers quietly revolve around the same tree. Just reached the gangway. Both eyes felt a burning pain. Their hearts instantly sank to the bottom of the valley. Could it be that we can only rely on the whispers of fate? The many heroes displayed calm expressions, did not feel intimidated because of this. Tianji Pavilion has stood in the 9 provinces since ancient times. Major factions had speculated about this thousands of years ago. The Tianji Pavilion is helping the dancers of Jeju transcend. It's a pity. Since the beginning of time, there are no ascendants in the Jeju continent. If ascendants appear, must meet 2 conditions: a once-in-a-lifetime talent, and blessed by the way of heaven. The latter is more important. Every era has its share of gifted individuals, even if located at the peak, but ultimately unable to break through to the ancient. He kicked out those dancers who lacked charisma, lacks grace. You gained an opportunity, but it was also wasted. Zhu Bei gazed with an expression devoid of waves or ripples. Yet, deep inside, a rare sense of panic arose. This is truly amazing. Directly break through defenses. Unlucky but eating your rice. When will this world start to care? We people with poor temperament. If one walks the battle bridge, without a doubt a misstep. Life perishes, the path fades away. He swallowed his sigh. The battle bridge was no different from the gates of hell for him. At this moment, the sound of the massive creature echoed once more. The first in the heavenly rankings starts selecting teams of 4. The chosen ones cannot refuse. "I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that." Zhu Bei's expression became strange. The crowd's noise never ceases, although it feels unfair. But I also dare not go against it. The heavenly list's proud son was indeed the focus of the heavenly script's illumination. It's quite normal to have some special treatment. The chosen one. I will definitely be forced to become the anger pioneer. Chu Tai-zu coldly surveyed the surroundings. Sharp eyes like knives. Quickly selected 3 top-ranked prizes. Jiang Wuji is inside. This royal department. The story is half told. The chilling aura pressed down. Jiang Wuji immediately fell, silent. That feeling of impending death finally vanished. He was extremely unwilling. But still I walked towards Chu Taixu. Kang Heorn held a peach blossom. The tail of her eye was very flirtatious. 4 ordinary dancers were finally selected. 4 men stood like mechanical puppets. The pupils were pitch black. No whites in the eyes. Chu Tai-zu looked on coldly. It seems this person was prepared in advance. I guess I figured it out. It's my turn now. Su Bei wan. First, love. Xu and Yuan Changqing approached slowly. The tone exuded strength that brooked no resistance. Zhu Bei gazed at a face, instantly cold as frost. Thunder rumbled. A sea of blood surged behind him. The whole person was dignified and unapproachable. In an instant, everyone was shocked. Anyone can easily notice. Such a strong aura of murder. Young Master Zhu is really angry, isn't he? The massive creature's head swayed. Desires from outside surge in. The sea of blood shattered in an instant. Being publicly humiliated by the other party. Xu and Yuan Changqing's expression was somewhat unpleasant. If he continues to persevere, even the ants of Xinzu dared not refuse. Otherwise, you'll be killed by the shock. What if this ant goes crazy? Fighting fiercely on the battle bridge. That will affect my ranking. The top 10 will receive rewards. The main character takes the first place. Forget it. Let him go for now. Thinking of this, Xu and Yuan Changqing's eyes were filled with anger. Chose 2 followers. Also chose Lin Yuan from the 6th, with the distant mountains of the 9th. Zhu Beiwang's expression returned to calm. He almost wanted to kill this show-off. Let me walk the battle bridge with you. You don't think death is coming fast enough. He remained silent for half a moment. The deep gaze scanned the entire venue, pretending to carefully consider the candidates. A long time has passed. He casually said, Cao Qingju, Yitan, Xiao Fan, just the 3 of you. Chapter 101. Easily arrive. Zhen Long Jingzhu. Daiwu Jin Shuang felt as if struck by lightning. A gloomy gray sky and earth. Thousands of battle bridges. A flickering, eerie golden light. It was Su Beiwen's turn to choose teammates. He casually mentioned three names: Cao Qingju, Yitan, Xiao Fan. As soon as the voice fell silent, the three people's expressions suddenly changed. My mind was suddenly filled with tension and fear. In their view, Zhu Eliado is a psychopathic killer addicted to slaughter, chosen by this vast land to be its companion. The consequences are unimaginable. Moreover, the three all have grievances against Sai Lao, immortal and unyielding. Suddenly, more than a dozen young dancers stood up in the arena. There are all kinds of shapes and sizes. They timidly raised their arms, said tremblingly, "Zubonzi, is it me?" Zhu Beiwing had a cold expression, a glance at the vast crowd of people. Yi Tian, this name. Jian Lan Daojai. Among tens of thousands, there are just over a dozen. His cold gaze. Focus on the resolute man. Morandao. Come out. Yi Tian clenched his fists tightly. The hatred on his face couldn't be hidden at all. Bullying me over and over again. Why, yes, the ruler of this world in a certain sense. A colossal creature plunged into the writhing chaos. The crimson curtain emitted a hazy glow. Yi Tian was completely bound. It felt as if a sharp sword was hanging over my head. At any moment, one could lose their life. Jianqiao rules. The chosen one cannot refuse. I hate it. Yi Tian roared inwardly, walking towards the enemy with a sullen face. Xiao Fan and Zhao Qing clashed swords, struggling to adjust my emotions. Coming step by step, several teammates. Now we are a family. Share blessings together. Share the hardships together. Why not take the opportunity to become sworn brothers? In the future, let's look out for each other. Zhu Beiwing smiled faintly. The voice is gentle and magnetic, radiating tranquility and ease. Walk through the checkpoint without a scratch. It's hard not to feel happy. In fact, he believed one child with spirit was enough. But to guard against unexpected events, add 3 layers of insurance. Clearly foolproof. Upon hearing this, Zhao Qing decided to harden the exquisite and flawless jade armor. She slightly pursed her thin lips. He never thought about it. Someone can speak with such a nonchalant tone, speak the most shameless words, become sworn brothers with you. I wish I could strike with a sword, poke you into a mess, to avenge the grudge of Blind Mountain. Xiao Fan and Yi Tian kept their heads down tightly. In addition to anger, there is also a sense of helplessness. If one possesses the strength to look down upon the 9 provinces, how can we allow such an arrogant attitude? Time slowly flows by. The noise in the venue is continuous. This land has no day or night, perpetually shrouded in gray mist. Not sure how much time has passed. The preaching gradually calmed down. Tens of thousands of warriors form teams of 4. HMPH. The colossal creature raised its head and looked around. Space twisted into waves. The next moment, they appeared on the flat circular platform in mid-air. Between us are strange walkways. The square pattern is particularly striking. The steam probe was directly isolated. Drip, tick-tock, at the end of the battle bridge, faintly seeing an ancient, pristine statue, holding a stone wave that is like a bowl in my palm. The stone table tilted slightly. Overflowing water droplets fall to the ground. Very harmonious sound. The sound of dripping water is particularly heart-shocking. The water flows cleanly. The broken bridge of war. A deep, ancient voice resonated through the void. In an instant, the air was filled with a suffocating scent. Countless people were horrified. In other words, time is limited. Once it exceeds, directly plunging into the abyss of terror, cruel to the point of outrage. The crowd's legs went weak, almost greedily on the ground. In the eyes of despair there is deep regret. One should not be ambitious. This place is not somewhere they can come to at all. The burial ground of the weak. The nightmare begins. Someone is being pushed forward by the family's prodigy. He had a pale face. Lift the stiff foot, stepping on a square pattern, as if stepping on a soft surface of water. The entire person fell silent. Then, falling along the way, the body exploded. Flesh and bones scattered everywhere, ultimately fell into the abyss. The silence of the battle bridge shattered. Countless people gasped in shock. Tingling scalp thus met their demise. Not even a body can be seen. One wrong step, directly die. The bridge of thousands of battles is silent once more. Each group member has lost their courage. No one wants to become a vengeful spirit in the abyss. "You free. Who goes first?" Zhu Beiwang's expression was indifferent. The voice no longer has any warmth. The three of them exchanged glances. Subconsciously, we each take a step back. No one wants to be a trailblazer. Stay at the back. Can find the path ahead. Unless all three die. Otherwise, it will remain safe forever. Who goes first? Zhu Beiwang closed his eyes. A strong killing intent burst forth. A torrent of blood flows behind me. Yitan was both angry and helpless. The three of them joined forces. "I'm afraid there's nothing we can do about this." He was the first to break the silence. He said in a hoarse voice, "It's natural for men to yield to women. Let Miss Cow step back." The fragment of the jade pendant trembled. Old Yan was furious. Cao Kingju's beautiful eyes slightly blinked. It was obviously unexpected. A faint sense of emotion stirred within. "Thank you." Speaking and pausing. "Previously, I broke into the blind mountain palace. I just heard it. But it seemed they quickly forgot this person's name. I am called Yitan." Yitan waved his hand, fearless. Cao Kingju's needlework was light and precise. Said softly, "Thank you, young master Ye." Zhao Fan was furious. Anger surged in his chest. Where did this fool come from? Yitan looked at Zhao Fan. "Brother Zhao, are you okay?" Zhao Fan swallowed hard. Words I want to say are stuck in my throat. Finally he muttered, "Should be." "I." Yitan took out an ordinary copper coin. Fingers pinched, Chen Sheng said, "Zhao, brother, do you choose the front or the back?" Zhu Beiwen watched with great interest. Hidden in the heart, analyzed from a rational perspective, Zhao Zhuoxu should take the lead. His aura rises a level higher. But compared to Zhao Zhuoxu, Zhu Beiwen still finds Yizan's conservativeness even more annoying. Then he spoke coldly. "Yitan, you fight with righteous spirit soaring high. Who are you angry with?" This made Zhao Fan's heart swell with joy. Mang Zuo glanced at the nearby battle bridge. "Nairuda, you die. Let's not waste any time. Hurry up." Yitan's expression froze. A face blushing bright red. He looked at Miss Cow. Cao Kingju immediately turned his face away. To turn a blind eye. "If you don't want to die, just don't test my patience." Zhu Beiwang's expression was grim. The sound of chickens being slaughtered rises. Meanwhile, Zhao Fan quietly circulated his true energy, glaring at the resolute man with a threatening look. Dense battled bridges. Kang Heoran's team holding peach blossoms. Leading the charge. The three puppets ahead, though the steps are slow and sluggish. But there was not a single mistake. The remaining battled bridges were a sight of horror. The abyss is filled with swirling blood mist. Severed limbs and heads keep falling. The sound of wailing and sobbing echoed. "Hurry up." Xiao Fan let out an angry shout. He also wants to compete for the opportunities of his past life. Yi Tian stared wide-eyed, forcing Zhenqiao to remain still. The eyes seemed ready to burst with terrifying sparks. He remained silent for a long time, struggling to lift one foot on two identical square patterns. Choose the one on the left. No sound at all. There's no time to breathe a sigh of relief yet. A cold voice came from behind. Hurry up. Yi Tian let out a cold snort. Exploring the unknown is dangerous, but it is not without its opportunities. First to arrive, you can obtain treasures. I, Yi Tian, am destined to defy the heavens. How could one fear the choice between life and death? Thinking of this, he stepped forward calmly and confidently, as if the sunset is strolling through the forest. The three of them advanced along the pattern they had walked before, successfully left Xiao Fan in shock. Could this kid be the essence of turbulent weather? A full dozen steps, steady as Mount Tai. Zhu Beiwang fell to the back. The light swept over thousands of battled bridges. Our team's speed can make it into the top 10, but the lagging warehouse is quite far behind. The ghost said it cannot be endured. Rumbling sound, accompanied by a faint golden blood mist, gathering into a giant palm. Roll up the grey mist vortex. The evil deity's mighty strike fell. Cao Qingju's forehead broke out in cold sweat. Feel this terrifying aura. Immediately activate your body. Activate protective light. The energy flowed past him. Yi Tian charged forward. Yi Tian had already taken precautions. Unfortunately, the gap in strength is too great. The defensive artifact shattered directly. The back felt as if it had been struck hard by an ancient beast. Puff! The bone shattered, blood gushed out. Due to the existence of the warp bridge, the whole person didn't fly horizontally into the abyss, but stumbled forward, stepped on each square pattern, finally fell down. The pattern beneath my feet remains unbroken. This scene shocked the surrounding battlefield, regarding Zhu Gongzi's cold-bloodedness and ruthlessness. The people of Jiezhou have long grown accustomed to the strange, but this tough man is too abnormal. A full 20 steps, still in a state of unconsciousness. Surprisingly, my feet were completely unharmed. Absolutely unbelievable. Kang Heoran's flirtatious gaze suddenly turned sharp, instantly unleashed true energy. Drive the three dancers crashing into the puppets ahead. Are you forcing me to take action too? Xiao Fan was staring in shock. A chilling voice suddenly came from behind. He did not hesitate. Quickly walk along the pattern stained with spots of blood, looking at Yi Tian with pity. At this moment, Yi Tian curled up his body. The energy center within my body almost shattered. Boom, boom. Another loud bang echoed. A blood mist surged forth. An illusory fist. He smashed it hard towards Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan was caught off guard. The gaze flew forward in shock. The dancer by the bridge. I am completely speechless. Another monster. Now, young Master Zhu's team is far ahead. The bridge of war has passed more than halfway. We're almost there. The two scenes that just happened. It completely exceeded their understanding. Could it be that these four are crossing a special battle bridge? All are sturdy patterns. Cowgirl, please take a rest. A gentle voice came from behind. Yet, Cow King felt a chill run down her spine. The stunning jade armor looked pale. She shouted loudly, walking while operating the holy body. Zhu Beiwang is calm and composed. Walked directly past Yi Tian. He turned his head and smiled at her. Cow King decided firmly. The body stood upright like a star. Silken patterns appeared on the surface. The smooth and brilliant mark spreads behind. She has no confidence in her own charm. If one does not follow in the footsteps of the first two, may die without a burial place. So he decided to take the initiative. Meanwhile, a thunderous roar. Zio Fan's head was illuminated by a dazzling red sun, an illusory mountain barrier rising fiercely from the red sun. Ah! Zhu Beiwang exclaimed in surprise, feeling very confused. How can we harm each other? I hate internal conflicts the most. Her forehead bore a brilliant golden mark. A sea of blood behind me, the world shatters, leaving with an endless aura of a sofa, hands in a negative pressure. The vibrating battle bridge emits no sound. A blood-red bead suddenly shot towards Yi Tian. Yi Tian's body stiffened as he was about to make his move. Weakly clenching his fist, the terrifying two palms slammed down. Cao King decides to kick the shattered alien light. Xiangxi suburban combat power. 7 flames of fresh blood gushed forth. I am still gentle with women. Zhu Beiwen laughed casually. Another palm struck down heavily, shattering the mountain barrier. Pang Xiangxiao Fan. What can Zio Fan use to defend? The entire figure quickly rolled forward, lying at the end of the battle bridge on the verge of death. Cleared the level. Dancer of the surrounding battle bridge. My heart trembled like an earthquake. This has passed the test. For a young master Zhu, it's simply too easy. Zhu Beiwang's gaze was calm and undisturbed. Passing by Cao Qingju, whispered softly, "Don't lay your hands on me again." Did you hear it? After speaking, he walked away calmly and confidently, as if walking on level ground, not caring at all about the two people behind. As for Zio Zhuixu, the breath was extremely feeble. It's not that I can't get up, but simply did not dare to get up. The first is just within reach. But if he chooses to fight, must perish on the spot. It's better to settle for second place. You can also obtain the treasure that rewards you with the heavenly book. Looking at the snow-white robe, the gaze of the remaining champions of the war bridge. With a hint of envy, they lowered their heads. The endless waves of the sea echo, falling into the abyss. There, countless fresh corpses lie buried. Crossing the deepest part of the stone carvings, Zhu Beiwang stood on the dazzling stage. True dragon surprises the snow. An aged voice echoed indifferently. A bottle of beautifully spotted iron appeared in the center of the stage. The terror seeped out of the bottle. Zhu Beiwen felt a subtle boiling sensation in his blood. Hastily activated the beaming bloodthirsty technique. Without hesitation, swallow it immediately. A blood mist rises and swirls. There is a faint sight. The shadow of a completely black 9-clawed true dragon. He is struggling and roaring. Well, this drop of blood flows within the body. As if encountering something, the atmosphere of violence suddenly dissipated, gently accepting the refinement. After a moment, Zhu Beiwing opened his eyes. The expression was one of joy. There are still some sentiments. How to say it? Getting the true dragon's blood is certainly exciting. This is several times better than the blood of the Jiao Long. But the effect is still far inferior to the boss's drop of blood. Don't say let the divine skills break through to the 4th level. There isn't even a progress bar. Add 20%. Bottomless pit, ah! At that moment, the stage is brilliantly illuminated. A portal filled with the essence of immortal heroes suddenly appeared ahead. The ancient book opens. Random teleportation. A mechanical voice devoid of any emotion sounded. Zhu Beiwang heard these words. A handsome face showed signs of unease. He is particularly sensitive to the 2 random words. This is purely based on luck. Just landed with good luck. 10 magical herbs surrounded by celestial energy at my feet. Bad luck fell directly into the gaping maw of an ancient beast. Zhu Beiwang has no confidence in himself. How can his current mood be described? Just by a bottle of iced black tea. About to lift the lid. I don't hope for the grand prize. Don't even bring another bottle. Thank you for your patronage. Always thinking about it right. This wish is very humble, but it aligns very well with one's own desires. Abandon unnecessary thoughts. Zhu Beiwang adjusted his emotions, entering the doorway with calm and composure. The sky is crimson. A biting black wind was blowing. The world is filled with terrifying wails. The sound of babbling crays weaves through the air. A torrent of blood surged downward. On the shore, various kinds of spirits were bustling about. Blood seeps into the eyes of the deceased. A stream of dark breath surged out. The little ghost walked towards the blood sea in the boundless world. A spirit slowly drags its own tongue. Wobbling footsteps. Suddenly, rummel, rummel, the sky split open with a crack. A figure fell into a sea of blood, blood-like waves, splatters on the face of the lifeless without features. Everywhere are the breaths and greedy laughs of little ghosts. The sun's energy has appeared. The abyss before heaven, the war chariot drum stands tall in the void. Countless strong individuals quietly gazed at the stone tablet. Names disappear one by one from above. There is no shortage of prodigies carefully nurtured by various major forces, even the direct descendants of noble families. But the 36 positions on the heaven ranking. No, Kong family descendant was killed by Zhu Yi Liao. 35 people are safe and sound. The powerful beings were not surprised at all. These heroes cannot fall so quickly. Yadi. The icy breath instantly enveloped the sky. The void's crimson phoenix lets out a piercing scream. The terrifying frost freezes the world around. Like the end of the world has come. The powerful figures of various factions felt a chill run through their bones. The unexpected changes left them shocked. Who provoked the fifth demon lord? How is that possible? At this moment, a like-minded individual gazes in shock at the four directions' sacred land. It seems like I witnessed an unbelievable scene. Everyone looked towards the stone tablet. Pupils constrict sharply. The expression was utterly unbelievable. The fourth name has disappeared. Subiban. He disappeared. Rumbling, like a meteorite falling into the deep sea. The major factions were stirred up with immense turmoil. The name disappears. It signifies a fall. Zhu Beiwang, who forcefully pushes the younger generation aside. And just like that, met their demise. In the Phoenix year, Wu Zhao contended for Yuan Feng's gaze. With both hands tightly gripping the jade seat, I bow my head. The nails have turned pale. His first reaction was disbelief, even if cursed with malice. This Liao could not possibly fall so quickly. In the eyes of the people of Jeju, even if this Liao cannot reach the top of the heavenly book, I am also one of the few who survived until the end. Now the monument has tens of thousands of names. Yet this vastness has disappeared. He is dead. Wu Zhao Nan Nan King Yu. The enchanting beauty of Xueji appeared with a look of ecstasy. Life is full of surprises. This young junior made him feel like he was facing a great enemy. He saw this as an opportunity to stand tall at the peak. This fifth demon's powerful wheel unexpectedly died. Duan Zai. He clenched his fists. There is a slight waving motion. At this moment, the powerful figures of various factions, coming back to reality from the shock, faces turn away from each other. Everyone could see the excitement in each other's eyes. How can one not feel overjoyed? I thought I was under the wings of the fifth demon lord. Zu-E Lio will rise with terrifying speed. One day, another terrifying demon that instills fear across the world. But now we've just entered the heavenly book. It was just a life lost, losing the protection of the fifth demon lord. This is hailed as the invincible legend of the younger generation. Completely reveal one's true colors. How could it be so unbearable? How long has it been since I left him? You have fallen in the worship of the heavenly temple. Dugawudi let out a sigh. What a pity. Wings carry a faint sense of regret. Before anything happened to the two reincarnators, he was certain of the location of the peak of the heavenly book. Belongs to Zubeiwan. This is why he is willing to lower himself. The reason for the personal invitation he rarely misjudges. This business trip went wrong. Paj, the breath of the celestial law is wild. A cold wave surged toward the stone tablet. The stone tablet is frozen. Then several cracks appeared. Major factions enter the cold cicada. Dare not reveal at all any expression of schadenfreude, fearing to attract unwarranted disaster. The monument has been restored. The chill that enveloped the world has vanished. The phoenix soars and vanishes into the clouds. The arena was dead silent. Everyone began to feel anxious and fearful. What kind of blood rain and storm will the fifth demon unleash? Will our family lineage innocently face negativity? They hurriedly looked at the stone tablet, afraid of the heirs in the family. More than 1,000 light dots appeared next to the name. Not there. Lion Chu Teksu, the light point of Kang Heorin, has not changed. Not to mention the other prodigies on the heavenly ranking. So how did Zu-E die? A group of seats stands tall on the phoenix. Her stunning face was as cold as a glacier frozen for millennia. The pain in my heart quickly spread. At the top of the Tianji pavilion, an old man sits on a mat. The aged face is full of wrinkles, like the gnarled roots of an ancient tree. What happened? The subgroup appears in the void. Bai Mu coldly stared at the old man. Kill the chicken recklessly. The old man of heavenly secrets fell into silence. The heavenly book has been held for tens of thousands of years. This woman is the most talented dancer he has ever seen, is also the closest existence to transcendence. Never expected. He actually lost his composure like this. The celestial book is located beyond the realm. The old man is just a gatekeeper, knowing nothing about the inside. The old man of heavenly secrets spoke softly. This is the truth. Just like half of the Supreme cannot interfere with the heavenly book, he also cannot intervene. Only responsible for opening. Tid. Fifth Jin Shuang's gaze was cold and piercing. The old man of heavenly secrets frowned. To speak frankly, for tens of thousands of years, the name disappeared from the stone tablet. Pausing, he also didn't dare to look directly at this woman. Changed the way of saying it. If there are no surprises, the silhouette of the subgroup vanished. The lackey won't die. He is the unexpected one. Chapter 102. I'm sorry. Waking up grumpy. Kill 2 people to vent some anger. 6,000 for a monthly ticket. What does death feel like? This man died very peacefully. The gaze was hollow and lifeless. The whole body lay motionless in the river of blood. Only a faint awareness remains. Countless wandering souls and ghosts let out a strange howl, like an ancient mysterious ballad, with a call. The atmosphere of the blood river gathering is charged. The spirits gather together, reaching out with countless vengeful hands, lifting the body up. Zhu Beiwang's corpse was crystal clear and flawless. Consciousness spreads out with great difficulty. Faintly on the surface of the blood river, I saw flower, the enchanting deep red and black. The blooming petals are striking. Is it the flower of the other side of the yellow springs? I am in the underworld, the Nate Bridge, the black and white impermanence, the king of hell's judge. The undead spirits raised the corpse high. Zhu Beiwang's consciousness gradually disintegrated. Past memories are slowly fading away. In the depths of my memory there is a shadow of a child. He looked down at himself with a cold expression. King Kai Han Chun. It seems to utter two words. Waste. Moment. Zhu Beiwang erupted with a strong desire to survive. The blood that was about to congeal begins to flow again. The drumbeat surged towards every orifice, shaking while speaking. The howling dark wind came to a standstill. Rummel, rummel. The sea of blood roars like an angry dragon. Explode with a tidal wave of emotions. The spirit lifting the corpse exploded into a cloud of black mist. The bustling ghosts on the shore crawled on the ground. Soak the head in a sea of blood. A chilling black mist surged into the corpse's body, boundless and infinite. The flowers on the river suddenly vanished, gone without a trace. A figure draped in a red robe, holding chains. A shadow wrapped in dark mist appeared in the blood river. He respectfully bows to the noblewoman, let out a surprised sound. Welcome, envoy. The corpse lay as if unheard. Greedy demands devour the black mist. Not sure how much time has passed. As if transcending the river of time. It seems like several sources have fallen asleep. The spirits of the coast come in waves. He finally opened his closed eyes. The red-robed spirit stood there all along. Welcome, envoy. Zhu Beiwang snapped his fingers. The whole person floated up indifferently, standing on the blood river of Daoxuan. He said nothing, calmly gazing down at the spirits. Not only survived, Biming bloodthirsty divine skill, directly break through the fourth layer. What did I devour? Zhu Beiwang spoke in a hoarse voice. The red-robed wraith broke the chains. A mass of black mist floated towards the messenger, answered sincerely. Minkai. Zhu Beiwang looked around at the terrifying starry sky. There are countless mysteries in my mind. But the only thing he was clear about was, sudden death has nothing to do with one's aura. Unlucky again. It can't be sent to the underworld, right? Perhaps it is purely guided by the bloodthirsty divine skill from the northern abyss. And the lingering doubts that troubled me finally unraveled. Why devour so much blood of fierce beasts? Even a drop of true dragon's blood still cannot break through the fourth layer. Not a trace of purity at all. Now it seems, what is most needed in martial arts? It could be fame. Where is this? He asked. Xiao Biming meets. The red-robed wraith stood like a loyal subordinate. Questions answered promptly. Zhu Beiwang is on the blood river. Chen Shendao, can you take me back? Lu Dun. He added, where do you come from? Where to go back to? The red-robed spectre fell silent for a moment. In the howling wind, a massive and towering passage appeared in the sky. Outside the passage, there are intriguing ghostly faces competing for attention, even struggling like a whole. Extremely eerie and strange. Farewell to the esteemed messenger. The blood river surged violently. The myriad of ghostly mists must be allowed. Zhu Beiwang was drawn into the tunnel. The black mist disperses from the face of the crimson-robed wraith, bowing respectfully. Waves of time. Someone is waiting for you in the zone of death. A dark and eerie passage. Zhu Beiwang's body floated upward. He knows that the bloodthirsty divine skill of Biming is extremely defiant. But I never expected it to be so terrifying. What is a zone of life prohibition? He doesn't want to explore it for now. Seal this experience deep in my memory. A heaviness swept over my eyelids. The person fell back into a deep sleep. Tianji Pavilion, an old man who has lived for countless years. An expression of unparalleled shock appeared on his face. The names of 10 generations have appeared. For tens of thousands of years there has never been such a strange scene. Something utterly impossible has happened. He couldn't understand. Where exactly is it being transported to? At the pinnacle of heaven. The cold breath sweeping across the world suddenly dissipated. The colorful phoenix proudly raised its head. A group of people stands tall above. The exquisite mask gradually unfolds. If the beautiful green mountains, his lips curved into a beautiful arc. In an instant, it turned as cold as ice. After coming out, "You're dead meat," and the arena was silent. The powerful figures of various factions showed shock and fear. The gaze almost pierced through 10 lifetimes. Just 1 hour. Names resurfaced. It can be described as an unprecedented miracle. Completely overturned their cognitive framework. Every time the heavenly book appears, the names of 10 generations have vanished. It signifies a fall. For tens of thousands of years, it has always been like this. It has gone wrong now. What does this represent? Could it be that Zhu is merely an accident of fate? Empress Feng Lion Ying Yu of the Empire, as if the crown of the head had been lifted. A basin of cold water was poured down. Her emotions just reached a peak. Still haven't fully enjoyed the thrill of life and death like a thorn in the eye. Suddenly plunged into the depths. Bai Dao Xing, a duel of swords. At this moment, a terrible mood. It's simply indescribable. A realm shrouded in ethereal aura. The mountains and forests rise and fall endlessly. Here gathers dozens of young dancers. The atmosphere was tense. They stared ahead at a slender, human-shaped purple bamboo. A few drops of dew on the bamboo leaves exude a magnificent aura, although I do not know what it is. But it can definitely be called a divine medicine. There is an 8th rank peak dancer, just inhaling the scent of the jade leaves. The cultivation bottleneck has loosened, directly stepping into the 7th rank. The stir brought by the breakthrough attract the attention of the surrounding dancers. Therefore, they all rushed here. Are you sure you want to compete with the monk? At this moment, a young monk smiled and began to speak. A giant towering 10 Zhang stood before us. He holds the battle bone. The figure, like a mountain moon, erupted with overwhelming rage. What are you even? Life is like rolling thunder, vibrant and intense. Battle above the clouds. Everyone was surprised to hear this. Set your gaze on the soldiers and the jade bones in the arena. A graceful and charming woman. It is Princess Jai Minju. They are destined to be without the divine medicine. Will your highness participate in the absolute candle? Jai Minju bit her thin lips slightly, hesitant deep in the plot. 9th on the heavenly ranking. Distant mountains. 7th on the heavenly ranking. The secret code. He has no confidence in any of them. The monk does not want to see the princess perish. Just retreat. In the seemingly plain words. Exuding a strong sense of arrogance. Mongolian barbarian. A fist shows no mercy to the delicate. He doesn't care about any princess or not. The broad face of the distant mountain breaks into a smile. Pumu shot a cold glance at Jai Minju. Then he looked at the other dancers. Unconcealed threat. Let Jai Minju's jade armor reflect her anger. The other dancers were worried about being affected by Chai Yu. They gradually distanced themselves from the main battlefield. At that moment, HMPH, the sky shattered open. A white robe drifts slowly through the void, as if the heavens and the earth were the bed. The black and white flowing hair dances in the wind. The shimmering light intertwines. The crowd was shocked. 3 celestial traffic police light up the stars. Subetlan. He actually appeared here too. The mountains were eerily silent, like a wooden cellar. The 3 of them stood tense as if facing a great enemy. I have waited a long time. The man in the void still floated like duckweed, drifting everywhere, creating unnecessary mystery. The distant mountains roar. The terrifying sound waves swept through. The mountain rocks collapsed into dust. Zhu Beiwang's eyelids twitched. Struggling to open my eyes. Deeply closed eyes seems to contain endless years. The white robe flutters fiercely, accompanied by the clear glow of dawn. He slowly descended, calmly overlooking the crowd. What year is the surprise? Well, I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. The distant mountains tower with strong, sturdy arms. Qingjing lifted. Anger surged up, hard to contain. What year is the surprise? A tone of superiority, like a deity returning from the depths of the underworld. This demeanor is truly arrogant and presumptuous. You truly believe you are invincible among your peers. Zhu Beiwang had a blank expression. I do have some guesses. They must have just entered the heavenly book not long ago. He was indifferent, took a glance at the purple bamboo jade leaves. Suddenly, the calm expression turned chilling. Reckless. Who is bullying the princess? The voice was as cold as a blade, exuding a stern majesty. Everyone appeared dazed. They seemed to have seen one. The devoted minister, Da Kain Johnchen. It's a grand scheme that defies all reason. You publicly humiliated the princess and killed her fiancé. The deep-seated hatred in the world is hard to erase. Nothing compares to this. Morning has come late. Zhu Beiwang strolled leisurely into the pavilion, a smile revealing wisdom, staring at this handsome, carefree face. Jai Minju's team, the cold gleam of the deadly projectile. It can be said that the hatred is overwhelming. Yuan Shan and Chu and Dai exchanged glances. Subtlety intertwines. A silent nod. It seems that the notorious Zhu Liao. I also want to get involved. Competing for the purple bamboo jade leaves. If it were another spiritual medicine, under the pressure of Liao's might. After weighing the pros and cons, perhaps choose to avoid. But this Zhu Zion medicine won't do. Some people break through their limitations with just one breath. Then they swallowed it. It is possible to step into the realm of the master. Such temptations, who can resist? Only those at the master level can compete with the top 2 of the heavenly rankings, Yin Feng. Only then do you have the chance to laugh last. Thinking of this, the 2 immediately decided to join forces. First eliminate the greatest threat. Sensing 2 fluctuations in energy, Zhu Beiwang could not help but feel concerned. A thick, terrifying black fog, bursting forth from himself. Well, a strange sound howled in the sky, as if it were some kind of hellish device, bringing along the vengeful souls of the dead, the dancer with slightly weaker skills in the arena. A chilling sense of heart palpitation. My soul is about to be shot away. This moment, the secrets of the distant mountains, 2 people. There is a feeling of sudden stiffness. What is that? Jin Minju felt a chill run down her spine. Her eyes sparkled with golden phrases. Who can be scared by that? The mystery suppressed the fear in my heart. Let out a cold laugh. He put his hands together, gently hummed the overtones. The golden flow shimmered like tangible golden branches, spreading down from the top of the head, wrap his body. A massive wine character manifested in the void. The light of Buddha shines everywhere. In an instant, the golden light dazzled. Behind the mystery stands an incense statue. Shanwei Harain. This is the strength of the heavenly god temple sequence. Someone was shocked. HMPH, seemingly unwilling to back down. A corner of the distant mountains was stepped on. The ground suddenly collapsed with a thunderous roar. His figure was like a giant pillar in the clear sky. Behind me loomed a towering fortress. The inscription is deeply marked on the city wall. This ancient pressure leaked out a trace. It is enough to make the dancers in the arena feel restrained and battle-ready. Zhu Beiwang's expression was calm and unruffled. A turbulent sea of blood behind me. A world takes shape. The blood mist turned black, boiling and bubbling, heavy and majestic. HMPH. Blood sea broken. The spirits howl and roar. The cries turned into a tiny bony finger. The skeleton bathed in black blood. Haunted by a thick aura of death, it came weaving through. Eternal ages and countless years. Zhu Qian Yang Jai. In the moment between life and death, the vast and deep mountains are filled with fierce combat power. There is a chilling fear that comes from within, almost suffocated. Skeletons frequently attack. There was no sense of terror at all, just like an ordinary bone. With a loud bang, Mingwen is shattered. The towering city walls exploded. No, how could it possibly fall? On the distant mountains, disbelief and deep despair emerged. He is unwilling to accept it. But the deep area, like a mountain, was easily pierced by the bones. All means are futile. A protective talisman was completely worn down and shattered. The whole person suddenly crumbled into ashes. Not a trace left. A wisp of deathly air wafted away. The whole place fell silent, like a gloomy wooden cellar. The onlookers shivered with cold. Only a chilling sense of terror, living alone, swept up to the crown of my head. The scene unfolding before my eyes, destined to become their lifelong nightmare. Unshakable, branded for life. Just one move. Just as the 9th year of the heavenly rankings comes to an end. This unparalleled, terrifying power cannot be hidden. He's simply a god of death, Ashura. With a casual gesture, one can control life and death in the world. This is a bad chat. The rooster crows, the moonlight dances on trembling lips. Felt a deep sense of despair. The distant mountains that seemed hard to conquer in her eyes. The result is in front of Zhu Yi. There wasn't even a chance to resist. This is a gap that can be considered at the antenna level. It cannot be compensated by mere cultivation. This moment, in the depths of the moonlit night, a rooster crows. What can one use to seek revenge? A blue lotus appears. The rooster crows, the moon is startled, and it retreats far away. If you don't leave now, after the death of the heavenly temple sequence, it should be her turn now. Zhu Beiwang's expression remained calm and unruffled. There was even a hint of surprise. Why are you so weak? She is indeed very confused. Is being 9th on the heavenly rankings a sign of strength under the sacred light? How could it be so difficult to bear? Xuanji's heart trembled uncontrollably. A strong desire to survive erupts. The whole person leaped into the dazzling golden 10,000 character. Fleeing in madness, she witnessed the great battle at the celestial ladder. This Lio doesn't have the strength to dominate like this at all. I killed the prince's fiancée. Kill her again. Isn't that a bit too cold-hearted? So let's temporarily let her go. As for you, at this moment, Zhu Beiwang, calm and composed. The blood sea shrouded in black mist spreads again behind. A sea bone slants towards the south sky. The eerie atmosphere felt like 1,000 ghosts were roaming. The golden silhouette spreads in the morning. Pod, the light of the Buddha dissipates. Chunks of flesh fell from the sky. 100-foot deep pit was smashed out of the mountain. The dark mist of blood and energy swirls, mixed with splattered bone fragments. This is a suffocating scene. The area around the heavenly god temple is subdued, fell from grace. The surroundings fell into complete silence. You could hear a pin drop. The dancers' limbs are cold. Some people crawled directly on their knees. Before this, they didn't expect the outcome to be like this. 2 top 10 on the Tianbang list. How could it not be strong? But I couldn't even resist. Like 2 humble ants, trampled to death, the existence of this man regarding the heavenly book of Yinji. It was an unimaginable and terrifying nightmare. I'm sorry. Just woke up. Woke up in a bad mood. Zhu Beiwang's expression was calm. There is a hint of innocence in the arm hair. Then slowly walked towards Zizhu. The puppet Zizhu trembled, issuing a harmonious sound of agreement. They are a bunch of useless people. You want to eat me, huh? What year is it now? Still dreaming this grand dream of spring and autumn. He paused, happily running towards the white robe. I am only consumed by the strong. Please be gentler, my lord. No way. At the moment of exposure, destined to be devoured by humanity, it's better to find the strongest one. Such a grand and tragic death. All right. Zhu Beiwen showed a kind smile, directly surging with violent true energy. Zai Zhu Lingjai was crushed. He raised his hand to seize the dewdrops on the bamboo leaves. Breathing in and devouring the refinement, the onlookers dared not approach. To live is already a grace from young Master Zhu. Then the tigers gradually distanced themselves from this place. The news of 2 fallen top-ranking figures from the past inevitably swept away like a hurricane. The heavenly book will stir up unimaginable waves. The arrogant young Master Zhu. Once again I write his invincible legend. Like the radiant light of a bright yellow sun, desire to shine brilliantly, besides the top 2 on the heavenly ranking. Who can compete with it? The abyss before dawn. All major forces are still immersed in shock. After all, this strange scene, truly beyond imagination. Dugu, the shopkeeper skilled in deduction, can't figure it out. The name has disappeared. It will appear again. They only have one speculation. Could it be a feigned death to deceive the celestial book? How could it be? In an instant, a powerful figure lost composure on the spot, displayed an extremely shocking expression. On the stone tablet, Zhu Beiwen's light points surged. A full 2,000 strength, completely overshadowed Tanbang Chu Taixu. Ah, like thunder on a clear day. The pupils of many powerful individuals constricted, stunned and speechless. Incredible. 2 names disappear. Is it possible? What does this mean? Strong figures from various factions, clear as a mirror in my heart. Impossible. The aura of the divine worship ravaged the surroundings. The radiant glow outside shatters. The elders of the guardians are furious. The sequence of disciples they hoped for met his end. Dude Woody's expression was gloomy. A crack appeared in the altar beneath. The law of horror surges, just like the emotions surging within me at this moment. In his imagination, even if the 2 sequences cannot reach the summit, at least we can make it to the end. In the future, there is a chance to become a half supreme. The names that disappeared from the stone tablet gave him an incredibly loud slap. Dying at the hands of Zhu Beiwang like this. The bite of the 5 Zhao visage trembles in anger. Like an enraged benevolent teacher, a surge of uncontrollable anger flickered in her phoenix-like eyes. And a subtle fear. The name of Yuan Shanshuanji almost disappeared at the same time. Zhu Yi's chat activity surged dramatically. This is definitely a collaboration between the 2. still killed by the shock. Even the 7th and 9th are like this. Ranked 10th, Xuanye encounters Sai Liao. What will happen next? Moment. Wu Zhao's complexion was as pale as paper. The scene of my daughter's tragic death seems to flash in my mind. HMPH. He clenched his fist tightly. The handrail suddenly collapsed. A cold voice echoed through the hall of the gods, despite the tone being devoid of any emotion. But all the major powers know this is a mockery. At first, it was taken for granted that Zhu Yi would be invited to chat. Practicing in the heavenly temple is 100 times better than the primordial skill. What happened? The so-called training. Simply unable to withstand a blow. Still under the premise of teaming up with others. No wonder the strong, with their white hair, speak to themselves. Perhaps this is the reason Zhu Yi Liao became the 5th demon lord. How long has it been? 2 top 10 players have become stepping stones. Talent is rarely seen through the ages. The younger generation should not say they are looking up to someone. Even a distant glance is a luxury. I once thought that the 5th demon lord was unmatched in history. Now his lack is level of experience, subtly able to stand shoulder to shoulder with him. The decisiveness in killing is strikingly similar to that of the 5th demon lord. If allowed to reach the peak of the heavenly book, the 9 provinces continent is likely to face a catastrophic disaster. Don't panic. Wait a moment. The elder in the heavenly temple had a serious expression. Amid the anger, there is a hint of expectation. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. The remaining strong individuals on the warship adjusted their emotions, staring intently at the stone tablet. The name of Zhu Yi Liao disappeared and then reappeared. Isn't our own sequence good enough? Nothing in the world is absolute. Did not witness it with my own eyes. Who can determine that Xuanji died at the hands of Liao? An accident occurred. There will surely be a second time. Time flows slowly. The heavenly palace is still unwilling to accept defeat. Wait for another miracle. Chapter 103. To meet foreign guests. Being my maid is your honor. First watch. The purple bamboo's light dims. The bamboo leaves wither and fall. A figure in a white robe sits cross-legged. Completely refine the jade leaf. The energy center within the body suddenly expanded with a burst. The immense energy flows through every limb and bone. Cultivation has reached the peak of the mid-stage of the 5th rank. Just one opportunity away from stepping into the 5th rank upper level. Improving one's realm is secondary. The biggest is, the vital energy is exceptionally pure, as if it had been distilled. Zhu Beiwang's demeanor became increasingly transcendent and extraordinary, as if a celestial being had mistakenly descended into the mortal world. He did not stay here. Take out the purple flying boat. Transforming into a golden red, it recedes into the distance. Heading north, the heavens and the earth do not distinguish between day and night. No time to lament. Yanzheng and Sayawai, Xianling Yuxiu, various sacred mountains, ancient moon, perseverance. On the purple flying boat, Zhu Beiwang took out the crescent moon ring. Count the harvest during this period. As he guessed, this land is filled with spiritual herbs and magical medicines. No wonder the major powers in Jiuzhu, knowing the celestial scripture is a matter of life and death, yet still allowed the most outstanding disciple to enter. Just here, casually a spirit herb can drive the outside world crazy. If elusive, luck has brought me a few good finds. As long as I can walk out of the heavenly book alive, strength will inevitably increase dramatically. Those who once mocked him, all will be slapped in the face and brutally beaten. Zhu Beiwang on this journey casually intercepted a dozen spirit herbs. although it is not as good as the purple bamboo jade leaf. But it excels in quantity. After going out, let the boss refine the elixir. I still really miss the boss." Zhu Beiwang's gaze was slightly dazed. "A figure of unparalleled beauty seems to emerge before my eyes. That pair of divine jade feet wrapped in black silk, lazily intertwined. At that moment, woo, silver mist swirling around the mountain ridge. The mournful sound of the Siona echoed. 7 places of desolation, eerie and terrifying." Zhu Beiwang seemed to recall something, curiously following the sound. In the forest, Chen Washuang pushed the drum. Siona was played with great vigor. In the void, several pairs of hands held beast-bone bells, caught across the street, as the sound of the wind blows. 2 dancers bleed from their 7 raised points, fell to the ground and died. Chen Washuang let out a sigh of relief. He raised his eyebrows with great arrogance. The gaze turned towards the ancient tree 100 feet away. A golden fruit hung closely on the tree, crystal clear. Linky Yingyan, without any delay, quickly moved forward, preparing for the harvest. Silent, he brushed over the economy in his mind. Zedong landing. A figure in a white robe approached with calm and composure, picked the fruit at will, put on the crescent moon ring, said with a light laugh, "Brother Chen, bright and clear world, it's good to see you again." The person in front of me, it was in the realm of confusion that I met Suanage, heir of the 4 Thunder Sword sect. Chen Washuang's expression froze. Her face instantly flushed bright red. "Nairu Dao, Zugongzi, it's really not that serious. It would be a disaster to encounter this killing god. This is news about the previous life of Zhen Shaoyang on the Tianmeng, but as warm as the sun. In this land, the wind carries stories. Everyone who hears it is filled with fear. Liu died in the realm of enchantment. Zhu Yi's strength, still within a comprehensible range. It's simply unimaginable. It might be an understatement to say it's a blow. You will end up in the Yellow Springs." Thinking of this, Chen Washuang clasped his fists and cupped his hands. Showing a flattering smile, "Zugonzi, I'll take my leave first." After speaking, they hurriedly turned around. "Once the fruit is gone, it's gone. Don't lose your life here." "Stop." A sound came from behind. Zhu Beiwang's expression was cold. He said in a low voice, "Recently it has been said that an immortal medicine has emerged." Chen Washuang's lips were trembling, afraid that a bloody palm might strike down. "Huh?" Zhu Beiwang spoke impatiently. Chen Washuang dared not hide, saying submissively, "Not long ago, I heard now an ancient coffin has appeared in the area. A divine flower entirely snow white grew within the coffin." Al Zhu Beiwang felt a bit doubtful. "I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that." Chen Washuang was baffled, but still took out a yellowing fish picture. "Everyone has a share. Doesn't young Master Zhu have it?" Zhu Beiwang feigned ignorance. "Raise hand to seize. Take a quick glance. You too, Yizai. Ali. Silver. Fish painting. Fish diagram, fish diagram. Fish picture, fish picture. Fish picture. Fish diagram. Fish picture. Fish diagram. Fish picture. Fish image. Fish picture, fish picture. Fish illustration. Fish picture, fish picture. Fish picture, fish picture. Fish picture. Fish diagram. Fish illustration. Fish picture. Fish picture. Fish diagram. Fish picture. Potato chips. Fish picture. Fish illustration. Fish illustration. Fish picture. Fish illustration. Fish diagram. Fish picture. Fish illustration. Fish illustration. Fish picture. Fish illustration. Fish illustration. Fish chart. Fish picture. That diagram. Fish dumpling. Fish dumplings. Fish dumplings. Fish dumplings. Fish balls. Fish dumplings. Zhao Qingju furrowed her brows tightly, with a serious expression. He could almost be certain that this person did not belong to Jeju. Inside the celestial book from 3,000 years ago, the heir of the sacred land was fortunate to meet visitors from beyond, worship at their door, learning the mysterious and wondrous powers. Even the warriors of Kyushu trained their bodies. It's impossible not to have Eikai fluctuations. But the mysterious man in front of me showed no signs at all. The tone is quite bold. Unfortunately, it is truly unbearable. The armored man kicked again. The arrogance in the tone, fully revealed, facing this group of ants. Isn't arrogance taken for granted? To behold his noble visage with my own eyes. It is the greatest honor of the ants. The crowd lowered their heads, lips trembling, even holding back my breath, fearing to anger this mysterious powerhouse. They stole a glance at Wu Jai, the illustrious crown prince of Chu, like a criminal selling contraband, struggling like a trapped beast on the ground, struggling unwillingly, before the Tiamen is announced. The crown prince firmly occupies the Qingshan rankings. The position of looking back. What a spirited display! What a forceful appointment this is! Jeju Qingshan, who doesn't know the famous prince, now completely powerless to resist the humiliation of being trampled by others. Anyone who sees it will feel sorrow. Such a miraculous medicine at this level. How could you people be so clueless? Eligible to covet. The armored man's gaze was fixed on Gu Guan. In the depths of the eyes, a subtle glint of greed could be seen. Upon hearing this, Fifth Linglong's jade-like hand gently tightened. A deep sense of despair rose within. The opponent's casual strike just now. At least it can crush a third-tier army. This miraculous medicine. It's just a kind of legend of the uninhabited. This miraculous medicine. It is a kind legend of the unmanned. This miraculous medicine. It is a kind of I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Shilly chatf. A stark contrast. The armored man glanced around at the two women in the arena. David, not bad looking. Come here. Qualified to be my maid. After speaking, the ferocious dog is in my chest, leisurely and carefree, appreciating the appearance and figures of the two. As for Gu Guan Shen Huak, who dares to touch and try? One sentence. Zhao Qingju and Dai Wu Linglong Yujia. At the same time, they blushed. When, torn apart, desires of the uninhabited, entering the door, being the translation of is the wings. Who dares to touch and try? A single sentence. Zhao Qingju and Dai Wu Linglong both wielded red weapons. Everyone felt immense humiliation, though still quite tough. It seems that in your remote area the stars are gathering around the moon, believing oneself to be a fairy, losing face without regard for face. The smile of the armored man gradually faded. The index fingers suddenly clenched tightly. Two unremarkable punches were thrown, but the air twisted violently. The released shockwave destroyed a mountain peak. The bones of Jiang Wuji beneath him cracked again. A sharp, hoarse voice erupted. Fifth Linglong's face was ashen. On the brink of death. She chose to surrender. Very good. The shadow disappears. The armored man waved his hand. Fifth Linglong gritted her silver teeth tightly. Endure humiliation and step forward. The dancer in the arena was horrified deep down, but not daring to show even the slightest change in expression. In the heavenly book, the background of the aristocratic families is of no use. The goddess who is unattainable in the eyes of the common people. Now I can only be a lowly maid. The armored man finally released his foot, stretched out my muscles. A tea set appeared with a flick of the fingers. Brew me a cup of spirit tea. He spoke in a calm tone. Fifth Linglong's exquisite features will linger. Anger involuntarily surfaced on his face. At that moment, after enduring countless hardships to make this journey, of course, we should take a good look around. Things I look down upon, will bestow upon you. The armored man stood strong and unyielding. Whispers floated lightly through the air. The fifth Linglong's anger vanished in an instant. The light in his eyes flickered slightly, quickly weighing the pros and cons in my heart. With this person's terrifying strength, completely able to push this world aside, Chu Tai Tzu could never be her match. Then it can easily harvest the celestial herbs and spiritual medicines. If what she says is true, you can also earn a good share. Young master, is it true? She pursed her lower lip. The god of cutting spoke. The armored man frowned. It seems this sentence has provoked anger. Do you think I am untrustworthy? No,